Hi US, this is CMA M. Venkateshwarlu. I'm BSc MCOM FCMA. My YouTube channel is Venkat Manikyala. My main motto of this YouTube channel is to know each and every person in simple language for accountancy subjects. I request all of you to like, share, and subscribe my YouTube channel. Hi US. In this video, we'll discuss general to balance sheet. That is in complete shape. Let us say in financial accounts, we'll discuss in complete shape with a simple example. Today, this we can treat as an very introductory complete shape of financial accounts. So now first we will discuss about general ledger, trial balance, trading account, P&L account, and balance sheet with certain business transactions. That also we'll discuss, right? Before that, before going to general, now we are supposed to discuss about the classification of accounts. What are the accounts total? Let us say we are talking about always account. How many accounts will have? How to classify that? How to debit and credit? That also we are supposed to write. After classification, we have to discuss about the golden rule of accounts, right? Let us say now in a business organization, how many accounts we have? What is the main purpose of creating of accounts? How many accounts we are supposed to create? Who will decide the accounts? That isn't very important. As an it's not a basic thing. It's a very important thing, right? So any organization, how many accounts we should have, that the very fundamental things we are supposed to discuss within all the management and also financial experts, right? In all areas, let us say in financial area, chartered accountant, cost accounts area, cost accountant, and in the company's requirement purpose, company secretary, and also the management requirement, middle level management, higher level management, all these together sit together and they have to create all the accounts which are required to the organization. Those are called chart of accounts, right? So in an organization, first so we'll create so many accounts. Out of that, some accounts are common to every business, some accounts are specific to business. Those accounts we are supposed to create. Let us say common accounts are capital. In any organization, the whatever the invested by the proprietor is called capital. That's a common account, right? Cash account, bank account, drawings account. These are all common to every business. And machinery account, furniture account, purchase account, sales return, purchase return, bills receivable, bills payable. These are very common to each and every business, right? So these are all minimum requirements and common requirements. Thereafter, what more accounts you require? Let us say creditors, import creditors, export creditors, domestic creditors, like that. Whatever we require extra. So, right, that is also the accounts we create for the purpose of analysis to the management, right? Like that, we create so many accounts. Out of all those accounts, each and every account we cannot given rules, right? Rules or principles. That's the reason all those accounts put together, we classify them. How to classify them? Those are all together we classify as an personal accounts, real accounts, nominal account. What is in personal account here? The personal account is which is relates to person. Either is a natural person or artificial person, right? So natural person, you and me are the natural persons. Artificial persons means who are created by the some act, some authority. Let us say Parliament Act or some Companies Act, like that. We have so many acts, right? So if anything is created by some act, let us say Companies Act, Partnership Act, Society Act, right? So all these acts, for example, Companies Act, ABC Limited, and now we have Reliance, so many companies, and Tata, so many companies, like that we have. Those are all companies created by the Companies Act. And partnerships, all those small businesses we create in partnerships, right? That is under the Partnership Act. And some of the societies, trusts, those are like Venkateshwara Swami Temple is one of the trust. He is also a person. As far as the accounts are concerned, he is also one of the person, right? So like that, the personal accounts are consist of natural persons and uh, artificial persons. Artificial persons are created by the some act, right? So all those accounts we call as an personal accounts. Example for the personal account is an some name Venkateshwara account, Ishwar account, Vikrant account, like there are so many personal names. Let us say Venkateshwara Swami Trust account and ABC Limited account, XYZ Limited account, like that. Those are all the personal accounts. Even bank is also a personal account, right? Real accounts. The real accounts are some of the accounts which are how to classify those accounts as a real means that account must be, that must be whatever the account, that account must be in the name of the organization. So in the name of the business entity, let us say some asset is there, let us land is there, land is registered with organization, in the name of organization, and goods, those are not required to register, but those are whatever the cash, all those are whatever whoever have that itself is an concerned as an owner, right? So machinery also purchased in the name of the organization, right? So like that, whatever the name on the in which name it is registered, those accounts are called as an real account. Particularly those accounts are those assets must be registered with the organization. Those are all comes under the real accounts. Nominal accounts, all other remaining, in simple say we can say all other remaining other than personal accounts, other than real accounts, all are nominal accounts. In other words, we can say nominal accounts means all expenses, all incomes, all gains and all losses. Very simple, right? Incomes means whatever the because of business, whatever we get, whatever we receive regularly, those are all incomes. Whatever the expenses to earn the income, whatever the amount we spent to earn that income is all called the expenses. Losses. What are the losses here? The losses means we spend some amount, but in return we don't get anything. Those are all like fire accidents. Those are all kind of things, losses. So those losses also nominal accounts. Let us say gains. We get something, but we don't spend anything because of that. So just like that, we get some amount. So that is called gains. So those are all also called comes under the nominal accounts. Here we can say nominal accounts are the periodical results. Because of the nominal accounts, we are able to find out how much income, total income and gains we have, and what are the expenses and losses we incur. Difference between these two are the profit or loss, right? In other words, we can say entire this trading account, P&L account depends on the nominal accounts. Real account and personal accounts comes under the balance sheet. That also we'll discuss when we are discussing about the problem, right? Now we can say after classification of accounts, so each and every account under these three we have formulas. Those are called golden rules of accounts. If you by heart this, if you know this, then writing a journal entry is very very simple, right? So the personal account, one of the first one is under personal account. Whatever the accounts comes under the personal account, we have to apply this rule. What is this rule here? Debit the receiver, credit the giver. Whoever gives goods to this business entity must be credited. Whoever receives from this organization, from this business entity, as an accountant, you are representing the business entity, right? So whoever receives from us, whoever receives from the business entity, those all must be debited, right? In that way, all the persons, here again persons means it's a natural person or artificial person, those persons whoever receives the amount, whoever receives the worth of amount is to be debited. Whoever giving to the organization is to be credited. Very simple rule. Debit the receiver, credit the rule. Even in the even immediately you out of the sleep also, you must be able to say these golden rules, right? Next is an real accounts. The real account rule is an debit what comes in, credit what goes out. What are the real accounts? We know that means nothing but an assets, all assets other than personal accounts, right? So all those assets, whatever comes into the organization, into the business entity, all those to be debited. Whatever comes out of the business to outside the business, whatever going, those have to be credited. So the rule here is an debit what comes in, credit what goes out. The next one is in nominal accounts. Nominal accounts, what we have to do? Debit expenses and losses, credit incomes and gains. These are all specifically we are giving directly whatever the simple rule, that is a debit expenses and losses. We discussed there all the expenses and losses, incomes and gains are nominal accounts. Out of that, 4 varieties we have, 2 varieties are to be debited, 2 varieties are to be credited. What are those 2 varieties? Expenses and losses are to be debited, right? Incomes and gains are to be credited. In this way, how to read? Debit expenses and losses, credit incomes and gains. All of you record by pausing this. You have to record all these golden rules, and also it's very important to by heart all these things, right? Now what we do is in to know general to balance sheet. Now we write certain general entries. After writing those general entries, from those general entries we generalize, we post that to the ledger, and we prepare trial balance. From the trial balance, we prepare trading account and P&L account and a balance sheet. These 3 are together called as financial statements. Financial statements. So, as an accountant, as a clerk, as a manager, you are supposed to know all these in a perfect manner. So, at present, in this video, I am planning to teach you in a such a way that we write certain minimum all these classification and the golden rule and the requirement of all these things. Purpose I created some of the minimum journal entries, minimum business transactions. From those business transactions, we create journal entries and all these things, right? So, are you ready for that? Right? Are you ready with this business transactions? Right? All of you, what you do is you stop here, you pause it, and record all these transactions. Right? Then after recording, let us start now. Right? As I say, you pause this video and record all these transactions. It's a simple problem which we are going to do. With this problem, all the journal entries, ledger postings, trial balance preparation, trading account, P&L account and balance sheet. Right? Are you ready? Right. Let us see. I have written as in business transactions. We do so many transactions in our business, day-to-day life, but we don't record all those things. We record business transactions. Here, what is a business transaction? Already earlier in the concepts video, we have discussed all these things. So once again, we get a clarification. Business transaction means flow of money or money's worth. It may not be exactly money or money's worth also. If there is any flow from our business to outside or outside to our business or within our business, if anything is converted from one form to another form also, we write transactions. All those are put together, we call as an business transactions. As far as accountant is concerned, as far as we are concerned, we only record business transactions. All other transactions, whatever happens in our business is not our matter at all, right? Now, see, on 1st April, what Vijay started business with 1 lakh rupees. He started business with 1 lakh, and out of that 1 lakh, he purchased machinery 40,000 rupees, and office furniture he is doing with 20,000. What is here? What is here with this Vijay is doing? He is doing a trading business, right? That's the reason he purchased the minimum requirement. Next, what he did? he has taken bank loan for rupees 80,000. Goods purchased with 2 lakhs rupees. What he is saying? Goods purchased from Padma and Co. for rupees 2 lakhs. Whether it's in cash purchase or credit purchase, is there any clarification here? But as an accountant, what we have to understand is, once he gives any name, any person name, either it's a natural person or artificial person, then it must be an credit purchase, unless otherwise he says cash, right? Goods purchased for rupees 50,000. Here nothing is given. That means it's a cash purchases. Next, on 8th, what he did? Consumable purchased for different items which are required for the business, for doing business. He purchased 5,000 rupees. Other expenses incurred, let us say office expenses or any kind of expenses, right? 8,000 rupees is spent. And credit sales made to Vikrant, 2,10,000. Here he specifically saying, he is saying credit sales and also name. If let us say if the credits, if we made sales to Vikrant, that also means it's in credit sales, right? So sales made rupees 1,30,000. It's an sales made 1,30,000. In nothing name is given. That means it's a cash sales. And end of the month, he paid wages, and also he paid salaries 10,000 rupees. And the closing stock at the end of the month, what he estimated for rupees 50,000. There are the two kind of treatments are there, but general treatment what we do is, whenever we write a general entries, generally we don't write this closing stock entry. We write up to 12th. Thereafter remaining are we take as an adjustments. That means after preparation of general entries, ledger accounts and trial balance, when we prepare financial statement, there we do these two adjustments. Else also we can do, as far as the general entries general entries, while we are writing general entries also we can do this, but in general, as far as academics are concerned, we consider these as an 2 hour adjustments. We also do now as this, right? Okay, so I hope everybody noted down all these business transactions, right? Now let us see how to write in general entries, ledger accounts, and balance sheet, trial balance and balance sheet. Those pro formas now we'll discuss. After that, we go for problem, right? So now let us see what are the pro formas for that. I hope everybody is in clear with the business transactions, right? The pro forma for, let us suppose this is an entire page of the your notebook. In this general entries, how to write? Here you have to start with an last, that is in your book right side, in your page right side. So right side amount, 2 amount columns and 1 more column. In the starting, that is in left side, 1 column, right? This is an general entries pro forma. What we have to write here? General entries, journal entries in the books of Vijay. Who is the owner? Vijay. Let us say if its business name is in Vijay and Co, then Vijay and Co, right? What is the first column here? It's in date column. Next is in particulars. This small column is in ledger folio. What is in ledger folio? LF, ledger folio. Ledger folio means some accounts we write here. That account we record again. This account we post to ledger. That page number of ledger is in ledger folio. This one is in debit amount. This column is in credit amount. credit amount, right? This is the pro forma of general entries, right? So we discussed the pro formas about the ledger and trial balance also, right? I hope you have noted down this. Wherever, let us say, wherever you want to note down, you note down, pause it and note down. Then this is now the page, let us say, your entire page you divide into half. That means in the middle you write one line, right? First of all, whenever we prepare accounts or generals or anything, what we have to do, we have to start with an amount column. So because this amount column is required for this specifically certain length of the column. Here also same. And date, we require some amount of length, right? This is in partition, right? This is in partition, this is in middle, this is in one part, that is in another part. So this left side part is in debit side. Up to this it's on debit side. This right side part is in credit, right? So here we have to write, let us say, some account name, capital account. Capital account. It's a permanent one. Capital account is a permanent one. That's the reason we don't specify the dates or year like that. So date, the first one is in date. This is in particulars. Particulars column is the remaining column of after getting amount and dates. Here it's an amount. We are not writing debit amount and credit amount like that. Amount means it's a debit amount only, because up to this, all this part is in debit part, right? Here also credit side also same. Date, particulars, amount. Whatever we have written this side, the same thing that side also, right? That is in credit side, this is a debit side. This is an account pro forma, right? Any account. In fact, we can say trading is also trading account, P&L account, all ledger accounts. All our accounts pro forma is in same, but trading account, P&L account we'll discuss later. There date column won't be there. Why it won't be there, that also we'll discuss. Okay. This is an account pro forma. Next is an balance sheet. No, trial balance. After the accounts, ledger preparation, we prepare trial balance, right? So how it looks like? It looks like this. This is also for the entire page. What we did, from the last, we'll prepare two columns. Two columns. It's like a general, but here what are the missing? No ledger folios, no dates, right? Trial balance. Trial balance. Trial balance as for the period. For the period. So and so. Some date. Particulars. Somebody may write as an account, because here we write only accounts. That is also right. You can say it's an account. Debit amount, credit amount. See here it's not an regular one. Trial balance is not a regular one. That's one of the statement. It's not at all real an account or something kind of thing. Right? It's a statement to find out whether whatever we prepared is correct or not, and also getting an abstract at one place, right? These are all the pro formas, right? You note down all of you, and once you are clear about this, then we go for problem, right? I hope everyone is clear about this, right? Now, what we did is by taking all those transactions, right? because we know pro forma, but because of the lack of this space in the board, what I do is for ledger accounts, I don't do all those columns because of the space constraint. You don't do like that. You prepare as per this pro forma. But as far as I am concerned, I don't follow all those columns because of the, again, it's because of the space problem, right? So here general entries also I do write. First two general entries I write in the pro forma, and two ledger postings also I do in the pro forma. Thereafter I jump into a simple T shapes, right? So now as far as two transactions are concerned, I go as per pro forma, right? So let us suppose this is in general in the books of Vijay and Co, right? Date, particulars, debit amount, credit amount, ledger folio. Let us see. Let us take the first transaction. The first transaction is Vijay started business with the with rupees 1 lakh, right? He started business with 1 lakh. So out of that, we require to write a journal entry minimum on debit, on credit. It can be having more than one debits, that means 2 debits, 3 debits, 4 debits like that, or credits also as well, more than one. But at least we require 1 debit and 1 credit. So now, how from this transaction, we are supposed to take 2 accounts at least. We require 2 accounts, right? What are those 2 accounts? We are getting cash into business because we started with business, right? So that means number one is in cash. Cash is one of the account, cash account. And what else account here? Who started this? Vijay. So because he's the owner, we don't call it with a name. For the owner, we use one term called capital, right? So if he gets into business, capital into business, that is called as capital. When he withdraws from the business, then we use, again there we don't use his name, again capital. We have a separate term called drawings account, right? So number 2 account is in capital account. Now we know these 2 accounts in this, there are no other accounts. So let us see, now we have to classify these 2. What are as per the classification of accounts? So let us say this cash account can be classified as what? Whether it is in personal account or real account or nominal account. You have to think carefully, right? This account comes under which classification? As well, this also we have to think which classification it comes. This cash account, what it is cash? Cash is in whoever is having that cash is the owner of that cash, right? So it's not an individual person or natural or artificial person. This is not an income or expense or loss or gain, right? It's one of the asset we are having, current assets we can see, right? So asset we are having. So that means it comes under the real account. This comes under the real account. So cash account is a real account, right? Cash account is a real account. Now we have decided cash is a real account. Now we can apply the rule and we can say whether it's a debit or credit, right? Now our target is to decide whether debit or credit. What the real account says? Now let us say revise. What is the golden rule of the real account? Debit what comes in, credit what goes out, right? So whether the cash is coming in to a business or going out of the business, Vijay is giving cash to the business, right? So cash is coming in. So as well as the real account rule is concerned, whatever comes in we have to debit, right? So that means now we have to debit this. That means we have classified the cash account as a real account and decided as per the golden rule saying that it's a debit. That means cash account is to be debited in the journal. So once it is debited, obviously other one is to be created. Otherwise also, now because it's an initial stage, each and every account we are supposed to discuss, right? The next one is in capital. Whether the capital account is classified as an which account, that also first we have to segregate. Capital. What is the capital means here? Capital is representing Vijay, right? Vijay is a person. Vijay is a natural person, right? So Vijay is a person. So it's a personal account. Personal account. So what are the personal account says? The rule of the personal account is debit the receiver, credit the giver. Whether this person, who is this capital means Vijay, right? So whether Vijay is giving or receiving, he is giving, right? He is giving the cash into the business. So as far as the business entity is concerned, he is outsider. As far as we are concerned, business entity is concerned, as far as accountant is concerned, accountant itself has to feel that he is in business entity. Then only our general entries passing and everything is very easy, right? So as whenever you are writing in a position as a clerk, as an accountant, you are means you are business entity, right? So to the business entity, he is giving, capital is giving. In other words, Vijay is giving, right? So whether he is giving, so giver the credit the giver, right? That's not our rule. That means he is supposed to be credit, right? Now we have decided these two accounts. One account is to be debited, another account is to be credited, right? So cash account data. On which date it is? 1st April. Date column we have to write the dates on the 1st April. So cash account data, here this symbol we have to write. Cash account data. We have to spell as an data. 2. Where we have to write the 2? The capital account is to be created. Whatever the credits are to be written, we have to write as in 2. So we have to leave these 2 letters and thereafter we have to start credits to capital account. Capital account. Again here the credits or debit is not required. Debtor and credit are don't require. Cash account debtor means it's a debit. Whenever we say 2, it's a credit, right? So to capital account. How much in the debit column and credit columns? So cash account we are debiting with 1 lakh. This column we are not writing in the same line. So the capital account we are creating, right? So what for this transaction? As an accountant, you are supposed to start the explanation with a being. Being capital introduced. This is called narration. After writing this narration, we are supposed to line it up. Up to which? Only to the particular column. Don't exceed this line to the date or amounts or letter folio, right? You have to restrict this line up to this. What else it says? It says this business transaction journal entry is over, completed. That's what it indicates, right? Then again we start one more journal entry like that, right? So then this is again we are not writing all these things. We write later, but till such time we are supposed to know the performance, right? The next one is in ledger account posting. How to post this, that we'll discuss. These are all the columns we required in the debit side. This is in debit side, date column, particulars column, general folio. Here it's in JF. General folio means wherever we have written, in which page of the general we have written this entry, that's number. Let us suppose this page is in second page. So here we have to write second, like that. That's an amount. And here also same, credit side, date column, particulars column, general folio column, and amount column. Date, particulars, general folio, amount. Right? So the account name we have to write. Let us suppose here what is an account? Cash account. Cash account. Right? So we have to, here we have two accounts, right? So two accounts we prepare. Because in this board, I can write like this and also I can rub easily. But whereas in your notes, don't do like that. You prepare separate account and keep some columns, some space between these two accounts, right? So this is an capital account. How to prepare an accounts based on the general. So first general we have a cash account and a capital account. Now we start two accounts. Let us say thereafter two more accounts comes. Then we have to prepare like that. Based on the generals we write, general entries we write. Based on that you continuously goes on and add accounts, right? So in this we have two accounts, cash account and capital account. How to post this? This is also one of the very important. Cash account. That means cash account, go to cash account. Debit, debtor, that means go to debit side. Write as in to capital. This is what its meaning. To capital. This general is in second page. On which date? It's in 1st April 2020. Okay. This is how we are supposed to write. Right? So cash account, go to the cash account, and debit side, go to the debit side, write as in to capital. This is what an debit side posting. So you go to this in capital account. Here what to capital, that means what happens, it's in capital account is created, right? So capital account, go to the credit side and write as in cash account. Buy cash account. What is this buy into? Debit side we know to capital. Whenever we write as on the credit side, we have to use these, it's an buy, buy we are supposed to write, right? So buy cash account with 1 lakh. This is how we are supposed to post the ledger accounts. Are you clear about these pro formas and postings? If you are clear enough, then I'll shortcut myself because of the space availability, right? Now I write a cash account with only T shape. This is what this I feel it's a cash account. That means this entire thing is a debit side, the entire thing is a credit side, right? So I restrict myself, not preparing all these things. But while you are writing in your books, your notebooks, you prepare entire these pro formas until you become an expert in preparation of the pro formas, right? The pro forma is also very important in the examination. If your pro forma is wrong, even though your entries are correct, but they don't give the marks. So pro forma is very, very important to each and every transaction, right? Each and every account. Initially, for the BCom and intermediate, they only see the pro formas and also transaction. Not an, if you write and everything is correct also, they don't give many marks, right? They generally cut the marks because of not wrong pro formas. So general entries, I I do general entries here. As I said, I restrict myself within small performance because the space is constrained to me, right? And I do prepare general ledger accounts like this. Right? So general entries in the books of Vijay and Co. Right? Debit amount, credit amount, date, particulars. Right? Now we'll start with them. Already we have written the first one is on 1st April 2019. Okay. 1st April 2019 we have started a business with an 1 lakh. That is an cash account debtor to capital account with an 1 lakh. Being capital introduced. I am writing very small letters because my space is in very minimum, right? Cash account to capital account. The next transaction what we have written, machine purchased for 40,000 rupees, right? So machine purchased. So here we have a machinery account, and what else account we have in that? Machinery purchase, right? It's not a credit purchase because no name is there. So that means in cash, right? Cash account and machinery account. Machinery account is in which account classification? As per the classification, machinery account is an one of the asset which is registered in the name of the business entity. That means it's a real account. Cash already we have discussed. They also comes under the real account. Both are real accounts, right? So let us apply this golden rule of real account. What the real account says, debit card comes in, credit what goes out. Here when we purchase the machinery is coming in, cash is going out, right? So whatever debit we have to, what comes in. So that means machinery is to be debited and cash is to be credited, right? So now the general entry is machinery account debtor to cash account. So how much, what is the amount here? 40,000 and 40,000, right? Here being machinery purchased, that we have to write. Even though I leave, all those things you are supposed to write, right? The next is in office furniture we purchased for rupees 20,000, right? So again, in the place of machinery, furniture. Right? Furniture is also the company own asset. Company owns register, right? In the name of business only we purchase. So that means furniture is also asset, right? The same thing when we purchase the furniture is coming in, cash is going out. So furniture is to be debited. Then furniture account debtor to cash account. How much? 20,000 rupees. Right? 20,000 rupees. Being furniture purchased. That you are compulsory or right. Bank loan we have taken for rupees 80,000. Right? Here what are the bank loan, and cash is coming because of bank loan, right? So that means bank loan account and cash account, right? So what is a bank loan account comes under the classification? Bank is a artificial person. That means it's a person. we are supposed to return back into the bank, right? So that means bank loan is a personal account. Cash is an, as we discussed, is a real account. But the personal account rule says debit the receiver, credit the giver. So bank loan, bank is giving cash to us, that is giver. So credit the giver. So we have to credit it. The cash account is a real account says debit what comes in, credit what goes out. So as per that rule, cash is coming in, so we have to debit it, right? So cash account debtor to loan account. How much we have taken? 80,000. 80,000 we have taken, right? So being bank loan received, that we have to write. Then we have purchased goods on credit and cash, right? So for credit, we have purchased goods for 2 lakhs rupees. From what? From whom? Padma and Co. Padma and Co. We have purchased goods 2 lakhs and we have received goods. So we have received goods. Is it a goods account? This is a Padma and Co account, right? Padma and Co account, because we received from the so many sellers. So all together, as far as the general entries are concerned, it is called as an, instead of writing Padma and Co account, it's called as an creditors. Creditors, right? So all together called, in general ledger we write as an creditors, but whereas when it goes to subsidiary books, when it goes to sub-ledger accounts, so each and individual name wise, Padma and Co, Raju and Co, and like that individual subsidiary ledger we prepare, that we'll discuss in a different lesson, a different video. So this is a seller. That seller we generally common usage word is an creditor. So Padma and Co is replaced with an creditor, right? So goods account. What are these goods purchased? When we purchase the goods, all those goods which is purpose of goods is in resale purpose, then those are to be written as an purchases. Purchases, right? So now creditors and purchase account, creditors account and purchase account, right? So this creditors account, this classification, how can we make? Creditors account is, creditors account is a, can be classified as a person, right? Purchases is for the purpose of resale of the goods, right? So that means it's an one of the cost, one of the expense, right? So this is an, can be classified as an nominal account, right? So now as far as the personal account is concerned, debit the receiver, credit the giver. He is giving the goods to us, so that means he is to be credited. Credit. Purchase is an expense. So because under the nominal account rule, debit all expenses and losses, credit all incomes and gains. So it is an expense, so we are supposed to debit this, right? So now the entry is purchases account debtor to creditors account. Here the most of the even professionally qualified students also require the difference between this creditors and subledger, that we'll discuss in a advanced lecture, right? Then what else we require? Creditors, after that purchase, and we purchased goods for cash, right? So here what are the in cash purchases, that means we purchase the goods, so goods are replaced with purchases, right? Purchase and one more thing is in cash, right? So cash is going out, so obviously purchase account is to be debited, cash is a real account, so cash is going out, so cash is to be credited, right? So purchases account debtor to cash account. How much it is? It's an 50,000, right? Okay, then purchases, after purchases, what we purchased? Consumables we purchased, right? So consumables is one of the account, consumables account, and whether it's in credit or per cash, because there is no name is given, that means it's obviously cash, right? So consumables account and cash account. So consumables account comes under which classification? It's neither real account nor personal account, so it's a nominal account. Consumables is one of the expenses which is required in the business, right? So it's a personal account. Apply the personal account rule, apply the nominal account rule. So nominal account rule says that debit all expenses and losses, credit all incomes and gains. It's because it's an expense, you have to debit it, right? So debit the consumables account. Obviously cash is going out, we are supposed to credit. Consumables account debtor to cash account, right? So how much is in consumables? 5,000 rupees, right? 5,000 rupees consumables. So what else we made after consumables? We other expenses also we incur, right? So other expenses also same as is. So instead of consumables, then we can say other expenses account, right? So other expenses account debtor to cash account. How much we have spent for that? 8,000 rupees. 8,000 rupees, right? Other expenses also we incurred. Then we made sales. Then we made sales, right? Sales we made. Sale is one of the account. Sales account. We sell goods. We sell, but for the selling of the goods, our generally used is sale account, right? Sales account, and whether we are getting cash or credit basis. So we also made the two types of sales. One is in credit sales to Vikrant, that means in credit sales, and cash sales made is in 1,30,000, that is in cash sales. Two sales we made. So sales we made within 2,10,000 and 2,10,000 is in one thing, and 1,30,000 is another one. So for the 2,10,000, we made credit sales, that is to the Vikrant and Co. So again I said Vikrant is in subsidiary ledger, sub-ledger, right? Sub-ledger Vikrant account. But as far as the general ledgers are concerned, we classify all those debtors into consumers into one account, common account, that is in debtors account. Right? Now sales account and debtors account. Sale account is a nominal account as it's an income. Debtors account is a personal account, it's a person, right? So when we go for the sales account rule, that is a nominal account rule, because the income we are supposed to credit all incomes and gains, right? Debtor is a personal account. As per the personal account rule, what we have to do? Debit the receiver, credit the giver. Because debtor is in receiving, so we are supposed to debit him. Right? So now the journal entry is. I hope all of you wrote all these journal entries. Up to this, I am erasing. I am erasing up to this. Whoever not yet written, pause the video, note down. Right? Debtors account. All those dates you are supposed to write in this date column. The transaction date you are supposed to write. Debtors account to debtor to sales account. Sales account. How much it is? And debit side is in 2,10,000 as well. Credit side is also 2,10,000. Right? Being credit sales made. Then we made debit sales. We made cash sales also. Sales account is one, and another one is in cash account. So sales account already we have decided wherever we made sales, that is to be credited, because in this case cash is coming in, right? So cash account is debited. Cash account debtor to sales account. So either it's in credit sales or debit sales, sales account is to be created only. Because in credit sales, debtor is coming in, otherwise cash is coming in, right? How much? 1,30,000. In this case, one simple clarification to all of you is that debtor is also an asset, cash is also an asset. But cash became as a real account, but debtor is not a real account, because debtor is a person, individual person or artificial person. Those are not in the name of the organization. That's the reason that is classified as a personal account, right? That is not classified as a real accounts. Then cash sales and sales we made. Then wages we paid and salaries we paid, right? This is also required for me. This journal entry also I am removing. Right. So wages we paid. Wages account. So wages account we paid and cash we paid, right? It's not a credit. Cash account. These two accounts are there for wages. What is wages? Wages is an expense we incurred, right? So thereafter, salaries also we incurred, right? Salaries also we incurred. Salaries account and cash account. Here, see, the salary account and wages account both are paid to persons working in the organization. But what is the difference here? The difference here is whoever working a physical with an physical and moreover orientation of the goods, or purely goods oriented. So those persons amount whatever we give to those directly related to goods, those are we classify as wages. In general work, office work or any kind of work which is not directly related to goods are classified as salaries, right? So now wages account is to be debited, because wages an expense, your salary is also expense, both are going out cashes, so both accounts have to be created. So wages account debtor to cash account. Here one more thing you have to remember is wage account is directly related to goods, right? That's the reason when we are preparing financial statements, so wages are going and sitting in the trading account, or if it has a manufacturer and manufacturing account. Salaries are coming into P&L account. The difference main between these two similar to these two only, because we are paying to for working, getting the services of the certain persons. But the main difference between these two is this is directly related to goods, but this is not directly related to goods. That is the major difference, right? Wages, how much we have paid? Wages we paid 25,000. 25,000 rupees wages we paid, and then salaries also we paid. This also similar, salaries, account data to salaries account data to cash account. How much salaries we paid? 10,000 rupees, right? 10,000 rupees we paid. So we have some more two transactions. Those are closing stock and depreciation. Even those also we can write as general entries, but in general, academic purpose, right? So those are all treated as an adjustments. That's the reason after preparation of ledger accounts, trial balance, when we are doing a financial statements, right, final accounts, there we do this treatment, right? For that I am reserving those two transactions, business transactions, right? So by this we can say our general entries are completed, right? Now we are supposed to prepare ledger accounts. So even though I write ledger accounts like this, but you are supposed to write, as earlier I mentioned, entire pro forma, debit side and credit side, amount, general folio, the dates and everything you are supposed to write.